Okay, everybody, here we go. We are doing the STAAR Study Pack Day 1, so this is your first day. I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, so I have some of the stuff already written down, as you can see, just to make it a little bit easier when we go through it so it goes faster. So try to keep up. If you got to hit pause, then do so. And here we go. So this is your last district checkpoint, the one we just took, and that's the way this whole video series is going to work, is we're starting with the ones that are most fresh in your memory and working backwards towards all the tests we've taken throughout the year. And the last one will be the first one you took at the beginning of the year, and hopefully some of those things that you haven't seen in a while, that will help refresh your memory about them. Okay, so first question, I'm probably not going to read over all of it, but basically this is a person who financed a car for either 5 years or 4 years, and although this is not a real thing, simple interest was what was used. So we've looked at our formula chart, which again, those formulas for simple interest are right here at the bottom, and it's right there. So I equals PRT. The P is the money, the R is the rate as a percent, and the T is time in years. So all we're doing is 21,000 times, and it says the interest rate is 12%, so we're changing that to a decimal correctly. And the first option is 5 years, and the other option is for 4 years. And all we're going to do is put those in the calculator here. So the first one, 21,000 times 0.12 times 5 years is 12,600. So 12,600. And the other option, again, the money's the same, 21,000 times 0.12 times 4 years gives us an answer of 10,080. So 10,000, hold on, did I do that right? 10080, yes. Except that's where the comma goes, sorry about that. So 10,080, but again, the question actually says how much money would she save in interest? So going back and reading the question reminds me to subtract these two numbers from each other. And when I do that, I get 2,520, which is your exact answer, answer B. Okay, question number 2. This one is making regular deposits into a savings account to save money for college, and he deposits $3,000 each year in his account, earns interest compounded annually at a rate of 9%. How much interest does Timothy earn in his first year? Well, you can do this whole thing if you'd like, just for putting a 1 here. If you do that, we're going to do P is the money, so 3,000 times 1 plus the rate, which was 9%, so that's 0.09 right there. Make sure you move the decimal correctly. And to the power of 1 for the first year, which means you're not really going to do anything there. So you're doing 3,000 times 1.09, which when you put that in the calculator, 3,000 times 1.09 gives you an answer of 3,270. But again, they want to know the interest he earned. Remember, the A means how much is accumulated in the account. So we got to take away the 3,000 he put in, so that gives us the amount of 270 that he earned that first year, which is answer G. Okay. Third question. Harold saved $2,000 in an account, earning 5% simple interest, and it wants to know how much more interest would his account have earned in 10 years if his account earned interest compounded annually. So that means we got to do both of these and then find the difference. So the first one, 2,000 times the rate of 5%, which is 0.05, times 10 years is going to tell me exactly how much he earned in interest. So 2,000 times 0.05 times 10 years means he's going to earn $1,000 over 10 years. The other one, again, this is going to tell us the amount in the account. So at the end, I got to make sure I subtract that amount he deposited. So 1 plus 0.05% to the 10th power, for the T is time in years. And when I do that one again, I'm going to put all this exactly the way it looks in the calculator. So using my parentheses, 1 plus 0.05, and then to the power of 10, looks like that. I hit enter, I get 3257.79 when I round it. But But again, remember, the 2,000 is what he put in. So if we're trying to find out how much he earned in interest, we got to take out that 2,000. So this is how much he actually earned in interest. And lastly, it wants to know the difference. Okay, how much he would have earned more in this one than that one. So I got to subtract 1,000 from this, which should be pretty easy. Just take that 1,000 away. 257.79. There's our answer. 258. Very close. Okay. Number 4, the one about college, is just saying, all right, these are all the costs that are going to be spent in college each year. And then again, these are two amounts that are being paid for her. Her dad's going to give $9,000. She earned a $7,800 scholarship. So this one is easy as just adding up these first 4 numbers for the totals she's going to be being charged. So we got 6,940. Because I typed that wrong. Let's go back. 6,940 plus 7,086 plus 1,300 plus 3,600 gives us an answer of 18,926. 18,926. But again, a lot of that's being paid. So to find out how much she's going to end up spending, we are just going to subtract the 16,800 that's being paid for her to get an answer of $2,126. And that answer is the very first one, answer F. Okay, next problem. Number 5. Okay, this is the one that was dealing with the MAD. Remember, the MAD is the average of all these numbers, and these numbers are all how far all these numbers are from the average. So in this problem, they already found the average of 20.3 for you. Then they found out that 19.8 is 0.5 away. 20.3 is equal to, so that's a 0. And what you want to do is just take these 5 amounts and average them. So we're doing 0.5 plus I put plus twice. 0.8 plus 0.7 plus 0.4. And knowing that even though this one is 0, that still counts. So I have 5 of them. So I divide that by 5. I get an answer of 0.48. Okay, same thing with the second one. 0.2 plus 0.4 plus 0.1 plus 0.6 plus 0.3. That's what I just did. I hit enter. I get 1.6, and I got to remember that there are 5 of them. So I divide that by 5. I get 0.32. And what that tells us in this problem is that Taylor, since her MAD is lower than Bailey's, that means Taylor is closer to her average most of the time. So she's more efficient. So that means Taylor's mean absolute deviation is less than Bailey's. So Taylor should be higher. So that's answer B. All right, number 7, we got another one where we got to compare the difference of either putting money into an account with simple interest or compounded interest. So this person is putting in $500 at a rate of 7%, written as a decimal. Okay, 0.07, and this is happening for 5 years. So when I put that in the calculator, I get 500 times 0.07 times 5 tells me they earn a total of $175 over the 5 years. Same thing with this one. I'm putting in 500, 1 plus the rate of 7%, and that's the power of 5. Okay, so that's how that one looks. So in the calculator, I do the same thing. 500, parentheses, 1, and I'm just going to add that together first. 1 plus 0.07 is 1.07 to the power of 5, which gives me a total of $701.28. So $701.28. Remembering that that is not how much she earned, or he earned, whatever, Kathy, I guess it is a her. I have to take away this 500 to see how much she earned. So she earned $201.28. And again, they want to know the difference, how much more she earned in this account. So I got to subtract these two. So I can take away this 500 and then subtract the 175 to find how much more she earned in that one, and it's not that much, $26.28, which is our answer right here. Okay. Number 7, I got a two-sided equation. okay, with variables on both sides that I just have to solve. Okay, again, the way this is written, 15 more than plus 15, twice the hours Carl worked, twice the hours, is the same as, that's the equal sign, 3 times the hours that he worked decreased by 15. And to solve this, I'm going to start with my variables, my 3h and my 2h, and I'm going to realize it's easier to subtract 2h from both sides than to subtract 3h from over here, because that's going to give me a negative, and I always want to avoid that when I can. And you always can. Hopefully you remember why. So that tells me I got my h's over here. I want to get my numbers to the other side, so get rid of this minus 15. I'm going to add 15 and add 15. That cancels that out. Gives me an answer of 30. Okay, and since I know this looks the same, negative 2h plus 15 on this side, negative 2h plus 15 on this side, I know I did everything correctly. I get an answer of 30, and you would then bubble that in. All right, number 8. Okay, number 8, we've got a shape that has been translated. I mean, if you look at it, you might mistakenly think it's a reflection, but it's not. They just took this shape and moved it down. So what we want to do is take one of the points and find out what they did to it. So this point that I made with the red mark here is 5, 3. And this point here that it became, okay, because that's the same point, is 5, negative 2. 5, negative 2. So then I write down my x, y. This is what it was, and I have to figure out what they did to each one. So again, the x value is the first one. So the x remained the same, so that one's just going to be x. But the y went from 3 to negative 2, which means they took 5 away from that. So y minus 5, and we look down here, and h is our answer. All right, next one is a dilation. Which algebraic rule can be used to describe the dilation? Well, first things first, we need to see that they started with the smaller shape, and it became the bigger shape. And again, to do a dilation, to find the scale factor, I do the new numbers or the new information over the old ones. So I can do these points, or I can use these lines. So if you do it with the lines, you'd say, all right, this length right here is 4. It became 12. Okay, the other way is to do the point. So this point right here is 2, 2, and this one is 6, 6. So if I do the new point, which was 6, 6, over the old one, which was 2, 2, and just use any one of these fractions, 6 divided by 2 is 3. I obviously would get the same answer here. And if I'd used the lines, here's the new line, here's the old one, 12 divided by 4, I would also get 3, which means with a dilation, the rule has to be the same for both numbers. So it's x, y, they multiplied x by 3 and the y by 3. So that's answer B. All right, number 10, almost done. Just a few more. Number 10 says we have a rule here. Y equals 9/10 x, and this talks about number of rainy days and umbrellas. And they want to know how many umbrellas they would expect to buy if they had 20 rainy days. So there's two ways to do this. You could just do 9/10. Our x is our number of rainy days, so if that's 20, we're just multiplying this by 20, and we're getting an answer of 180 over 10, which divided out is 18. The other way is just doing a t-chart. Well, if 10 to 20 is times 2, 9 to what? Well, that's got to be times 2 is 18, and that's your answer, answer H. Okay, next one, and we just did this the other day. Which equation can be used to model the linear relationship? So if I look at these, if I just did y over x, 4 over 5, 4/5 is not the same as 10 over 20 because that's a half. So that tells me I have to do y minus y and x minus x. So all I have to do is 10 minus 4, which is 6. And on the bottom, 20 minus 5, which is 15. And if I just put this in the calculator, watch this, I don't even have to simplify it. 6 divided by 15 gives me an answer of 0.4, because it's the same as 2/5, which is 0.4. And that tells me in my equation that should be the number in front of the x. And there we go, right there, 0.4. Okay, I think this is, no, I think I got 2 more after this. So to rent a paddle to boat, Paddles and More charges $12.50 reservation fee plus $5.25 per hour. The other place just charges $7.75 an hour. And we're trying to figure out after how many hours Paddles and More, which is the first one, would actually be a better deal, because at the beginning it's not. They charge you a fee. This one has a higher hourly rate, but they don't start you out at a fee. So we're trying to find out when this one is going to be less than the other one. So that problem, or that equation, has 7 and 75 as the bigger end here. So it's not that one. It's not this one. It's, which one is it? Again, trying to find out that when this one will be less than that one. So the 775 has to be by itself with the open end on it. So if we look, it's exactly like that one right there. So answer J. All right. 13 and 14 are pretty quick. And this is a pretty obvious one. If you look at all these dots, there's no definite direction. You could draw an arrow where it would make more sense than the other. Those points are all scattered around. They don't really make a line anywhere. And again, when you look at the 2 things they're talking about, shoe size and test scores. Well, I would hope you know that whatever size shoe you are does not affect your test score. So there's no relationship between these 2 things, so they're scattered around. So there is no association between math test score and shoe size. Answer B. All right, last one. Which of the following transformations preserves congruence? That means whenever you move the shape, it stays the same size and shape. It does not change size. So we translate a shape, we just move it. We don't change the way it's sized, so that one doesn't change. A reflection, we just flip it over, so the size does not change. Rotations, we just spin it around, so again, the size does not change. The only thing that we have done so far where the size changes is a dilation. It either gets bigger or smaller. So the first 3 all stay congruent. This one, size changes. So 1, 2, and 3 preserve congruence. Dilations do not. And that's your answer. All right, so that's day 1 of your STAAR test packet. So keep up with this, and there's the bell telling me to come pick some people up from lunch. So that's where I'm headed, and hopefully you have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow.